Hopefully you'll kind of go back and forth and keep it a little lively over there in the YouTube section as well too. Professor, what's going on? What's going on? Dark and lovely. What's going on, sister? Youngin, how you doing? We're gonna be getting this thing started in just a little bit. Professor, I was gonna see if I know Ray's celebrating his daughter's birthday tonight, so I was gonna see if you may want to co-host a night with me. If I know sometimes your schedule be pretty busy, but if you're free or whatever and you up to it, I wouldn't mind having you. What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm about to be aging again, dude. Come tomorrow. I hit that 4-7.
You say you hit what now?
I hit that 4-7, chapter 47 tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So that's your birthday coming up tomorrow?
Yes, it is.
Yep. Well, big ups to you, man. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday to you, Professor. Make sure you enjoy yourself. Dark and lovely, be one to you as well. Sister, be well to you. Professor, what you doing tonight? Because Ray gonna be out tonight. I was looking for another co-host. I know DJ being a little bit later on. You up to co-hosting, or you gonna be pretty busy tonight?
Hey, if you need me, man, I'm here for you.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and make you the co-host real quick. Just to have you up in the spot. We're going to touch up on, like I said, we're going to touch up on the actual, that Luke space. We're going to touch up on a couple crazy stories, just complete disrespect for Black History Month. Some of the stuff that be going on sometimes just leaves you kind of shaking your head. And like I say, in the title, like I say, Luke should actually worry about Caricom. I haven't heard Luke yet to this day actually hold a space talking about how he can be helpful, how he can help, lead the way for his people, getting reparations and from the Caribbean, because Luke is part Jamaican, Luke is part Bahamian. So I would think that a lot of his efforts would also be going to the way of like, hey, let me go ahead and try to do something positive for my people. Every time we look, it seems like every few weeks or every month or so, every other month, Luke is holding a space. He's up here crying about Black people not giving the Democratic Party enough attention, not enough love. Not yesterday, this space I felt was, just complete cheap shots, because he changed his title a few times. Mind you, I didn't go in there, but people told me about the space. He changed his title a couple of times. One time he had in the title, he had that FBA Freedmen 8OS that they hate Caribbean folks and the Democrats. And I just felt like, whoa, that's, to sit up here and say this without any kind of evidence. You're going to sit up here and say that people hate the Caribbean folks, as if we don't already have enough going back and forth. But here's my thing too. Luke is, born and raised, I believe, in Miami, because I'm not sure. I believe Luke was born in Miami. Luke has a Caribbean background where he knows that a lot of Caribbean Black people have issues with Black Americans, but it's always one-sided. I never hear him talking about the actual stereotypes and stuff like that they look at Black Americans with. So just to see this brother come up here and create a space, and of course, I told everybody before, man, stay out of this dude's spaces, because Luke, he wants that attention. He wants people looking at him. It's funny that now in his 60s or whatever, Luke is so political, but back when he was in his 20s and his 30s, he wasn't trying to use his reputation, his name, his clout for anything political. But now all of a sudden, you 60-some years of age or whatever, and now all of a sudden you miss the politics, and you want to sit up here and tell Black Americans that you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, or whatever. Fine, man. There's ways that you can put the thing. So, but to sit up here and try to cause a conflict saying that Black Americans or freedmen or ADOS or FBA, that they hate Caribbean people, that's a lie. A lot of us, and I'll be the first to say, I have friends that's Caribbean, grew up with friends that was Caribbean. I have no issue with anybody that's Caribbean. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and run down the entire culture, because, you got some individuals within that culture that perpetuate hate towards Black Americans. At the same time, Luther Campbell fortune has come from Black people. Now, I don't know what kind of money he has now, but Luther Campbell, all his money he made came off of Black Americans, buying his music and pumping it out. So to sit up here and have that kind of vitriol and that kind of hate in your heart and sit up here and trying to deliberately start something, man, if you're so focused on the Democratic Party, stay focused on the Democratic Party. I mean, Black folks have been voting Democrat for how long? So they have a right to be upset. They have a right to voice their opinion. They have a right to talk noise about the Democrats. Who are you to sit up here and say that black people, because they don't just stand in line and stand on their head for Democrats anymore, that, you know, it's something wrong there. So I want to hear anybody that was up in that space last night. Y'all, we're going to also talk about at this school, like I say, the Black History Disrespect. I know a lot of y'all saw down there in Miami where Luke is from. Also, you had the police department that they had this police cruiser, and they decided to put African colors on it and this and that or whatever, and that was their way of celebrating Black History Month. We're also going to talk about this school also up in New York. You had a public school that decided to go ahead for Black History, prepare a special lunch for all the little black kids out there. They decided to go ahead and have a chicken and waffles and a side of watermelon to go ahead and help get that down, get that thirst down. So everybody's sitting up here doing some crazy, crazy stuff here for Black History Month. I mean, it's a strange way people celebrate Black History Month. Original, how you going? How you doing tonight, bro? I saw you also one. I think I did a couple days ago. I tweeted out something, and they were saying in the article. I can't remember. It was something about I think it was the first time ever you had a flag, a black flag at the top of a building. I don't know if it was state, a federal building for Black History Month. And I know you quickly pointed out like that flag is a Pan-African flag. So. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead, Original. I saw you was coming off your mic. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, I mean, it gets See, I'll go more into it when you finish your monologue. But yeah, man, these people they're showing us exactly who they are. That's all. That's what they're showing us exactly who they are and who they work for.
Let me touch up real quick on this article from Black Enterprise, and I thought I had put it I had bookmarked it so I can go ahead and put it up in the actual Jumbotron. I will find that article while we're up here so I can put that in the Jumbotron. But this is from Black Enterprise. It was curator Newstoter.com platform. It's titled "School Apologizes After Serving Children Chicken and Waffles for Black History Month." I'm just going to touch up on it. I don't want to hit the whole article, just to give you the final points of it. A New York public school has apologized for serving an inexclusively insensitive meal during Black History Month. The incident reportedly took place on February 1st at Nyack Middle School when students were offered a chicken and waffles lunch with a side of watermelon. According to WABC, the school's principal, David Johnson, placed the blame on food service vendor Aramac, claiming the company had changed the hot lunch menu without informing the school. Officials said the original menu for February 1st was Philly cheesesteak, broccoli, and fresh fruit. We're extremely disappointed by this regrettable situation and apologize to the community for the cultural insensitivity displayed by our food service provider, Johnson said in a statement. I'm disappointed that Aramac would serve items that differ from the published monthly menu, especially items that reinforce negative stereotypes concerning the African American community. But here's the thing, though. Apparently, this company, this food service vendor, this wasn't the first time that they ran amok of black folks. No, it seems like they've done this one time before. And the same article said this isn't the first time they've been accused of perpetuating racial stereotypes. In 2018, New York University cut ties with the company after it included ribs, collard greens, and Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid. That's taking you back. That Kool-Aid on a special menu for Black History Month. The vendor apologized for the incident at the middle school, claiming it was not intended to be a cultural meal. We apologize for the unintentional insensitivity shown on February 1st, the first day of Black History Month. It wrote in a statement, we acknowledge that the timing was inappropriate and our team should have been more thoughtful in this service. This was a mistake and does not represent the values of our company, and we are committed to doing better in the future. We'll be partnering with the district so employees who work in the schools participate in training that aligns with the school district's vision, commitment, equity-driven work. We believe this will provide good learning opportunity to deepen understanding on the impact of systematic biases and negative stereotypes concerning the African American community. Like, man, how much does it? I mean, anybody with a brain could tell you that if you want to offend black people and talk about what they eat all the time and this and that, everybody knows that chicken and watermelon would be right at the damn top of the at the top of the list. So to sit up here and act like, and then they came back in 2018 to top that, they came out with the ribs, collard greens, and Kool-Aid. Now, I haven't drunk Kool-Aid in about 20 some years, but these boys decided to drop Kool-Aid as well on there and let you know, like, hey, well, we made a mistake and this and that or whatever. It was no mistake. When you put ribs, collard greens, and Kool-Aid on there, you pretty much know exactly what you're doing here. So I appreciate the little wordplay. As always, there's always extra training needed and this and that or whatever. They didn't know what they did, whatever. This company, like I said, they seem to have a history doing this. They did it back in 2018. They just did it now. So we're going to go down to Black Enterprise. Also had another article. I'm going to put that in the Jumbotron as well to y'all. Miami Police Department reveals tone-deaf police cruiser to celebrate Black History Month. Curated on the Newstoter.com platform as well too. So there are so many creative ways to celebrate Black History Month, but some get it wrong. The Miami Police Department decided to decorate a police cruiser with African-themed imagery for the month of February. Revealed on Twitter on February 1st, Miami's Mayor Francis Suarez told Fox News it was beautiful. This is a beautiful collaboration to commemorate Black history and Black History Month and the history of African Americans and our police department and our cities. Suarez said, "This is Black History," News 7 Miami reported. The ceremony took place at the Black Police Precinct and Courthouse Museum along Northwest 11th Street. Miami Police Chief Manuel Morales was also present. Reporter Josh Caballos tweeted that he spoke with the Black Police Union President Stanley Jean Pioch, who said the union approved the car design before unveiling. It celebrates our African ancestry. Pioch told Caballos, social media did not hold back on expressing how they felt regarding the design. Cheryl Affili, former president and director counsel for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, used 3 words: "This cannot be." Some pointed out the fact that the police don't have the best reputation with the Black community, and this design is in bad taste. One Twitter user called for Miami police to read the room. MSNBC legal analyst Charles Coleman called the car tone deaf, and it showed that the Miami Police Department doesn't have any diversity, equity, inclusion experts on staff. In the wake of Tyree Nichols' case and similar cases across the country, Twitter users posted memes and videos showing that some police don't really know how to respond. Unfortunately, other Twitter users took the opportunity to point out police cruisers are not created to celebrate everyone's history, claiming if they did, it would be racist. Other Twitter users took the opportunity to point out how wrong the police department was from a historic place. They're the police department with the notorious phrase, "When looting starts, the shooting starts," derives from one tweet. One user tweeted, NPR reported that the Miami Police Chief Walter Healy used the phrase, "When the looting starts and the shooting starts," in 1967 after the crimes erupted during the Civil Rights era. So yeah, Miami does not have and I can remember back in the early 80s that they had some hellacious, you talking about some hellacious riots down there. Miami had some of the worst riots that you can think of. When you had the black motorist that got killed by that Cuban, I believe it was a Cuban cop, it set off days of just riots. Like they were just tearing everything down there. Like it did not have the best history of race relationships in that city as well too. So yeah, we found 2 articles. One of them, what I don't understand what decorating a police cruiser is supposed to do for Black History Month. The other one was just completely outrageous, where you set the chicken up there for the kids. You got chicken and waffle, and then you decide to be a smart ass and you're going to throw a little bit of watermelon so they can go ahead and flush that down as well too. We talking about, and matter of fact, the one with about the police department with the cruiser, that's down there where Uncle Luke is at in Miami. So like I said, tonight's Twitter space, we're going to talk about Luther Campbell and his continued, seems like axe to grind against Black Americans. And back in the day as a youngster, I used to bump Luke. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm from Florida. We grew up listening to it. I mean, Luke is way older than me, but we was listening to stuff we had no business listening to at the same time. Luke always got love in Florida. But the crazy thing now I'm saying is that every time we every month or so, it seems like Luke is creating one of these spaces. He's taking jabs at Black Americans. He's taking jabs in terms of our political ability to decide what's best for us. He's constantly talking about reparations. I never hear him talk about reparations for the actual Caribbean people. Florida's 90 miles away from Cuba. So we're right next to the damn Caribbean. I don't hear him ever talking about trying to go ahead and do anything for his Caribbean brothers. I don't hear him talking about setting up any trade between Black Americans and the Caribbean. It seems like everything, that all the vitriol, all the heat that he has is always for Black Americans. So anybody that was in that space last night, go ahead and please let us share with us what went down in that space. Let us know exactly, y'all. Tell us your feelings. Tell us what you heard, what you think. Do you feel it's beneficial to go up in Luke's spaces? Because Luke knows y'all gonna come. He titles those rooms, and he knows for a fact that everybody that's on this app that's trying to go ahead and do progressive reparations and things of that nature, he knows that it's going to really get to him. So he goes ahead, he titles it, he has his usual people in there. They're going to go ahead, they're going to hold it down. And you go up in those spaces, they're not going to let you talk. They may let you talk for a second, but they're gonna cut the mic on you. That's why I see our people still don't realize that. You go up in some of these spaces, they're gonna let you say a little bit and they're gonna cut the mic, especially if it goes opposite to what they say. Luke is not gonna sit up here, have an open space, and let you go ahead and openly criticize his people the way he criticized Black Americans. He's not gonna do it. He's not going to sit up here and tell you why he constantly keeps talking about reparations for Black Americans, but he never mentions reparations for for Caribbean Black people. You know, I have no problem standing up for Caribbean Black people, saying you're definitely entitled to your reparations. But at the same time, I would not stick my nose in Caricom business and saying this is what y'all need to do. Y'all can't do this or that. You can't get reparations unless you go ahead and you get with these group of people over here. It's best that you work with them and this and that. No, go ahead, and you want to handle your business and you want to go ahead and do that. I firmly support you. Go ahead and get your reparations. You're due. You're owed it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely stand by anybody in the diaspora that's trying to get their reparations and better their people. I have absolutely no issue with it. My thing is this right here. You've never seen any prominent Black people. You've never even seen well, I would not just entertainers, but celebrities or whoever you want to call them. You've never seen any influencers sitting up here, Black Americans, saying, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dissect this reparation thing with Caricom. I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to point out what they should and shouldn't be able to do. I'm going to talk about this or that. It doesn't happen. It seems like it's only a one-way street. So, like I say, tonight, y'all, we talking about that. We talking about it, and there's so many blatant disrespects. I think in one northern city up there for Black History Month, I believe that the kids was making a snowball, and and they gonna make a black snowball, so they make the black snowball out of dirt and stuff like that. Just ridiculous stuff going on, man. Just absolutely ridiculous stuff. I want to thank everybody coming up in the space tonight, y'all. These are the topics. Please feel free to go ahead and chime in. I see DJ's up in the house. DJ, we got Professor serving as a co-host with us tonight. Ray celebrating his baby girl's birthday, so shout out to his baby girl. Happy birthday to you. Professor gonna be having a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday to Professor. Shout out to all our people that like to chill with us. Oh, y'all got it. Yeah.
What's good? What's good? What's good? I'm just getting in the building. What's good, everybody down in the chat? Well, yeah. And I definitely agree on that. Police new African cruiser. What the hell that got to do with anything Black American? And you got Martin Luther King quotes on there too. So when y'all gonna be locking us up, you gonna be quoting King, beating our asses and shit, man.
Yeah, and matter of fact, original, and that's what I was talking about, because I had posted something. It was a flag. It was supposed to be a first ever Black American flag that they had either a state building, federal building. It was a few days ago, and original was quick to comment. He's like, "That's a Pan African flag." Original, what's going on, man? I know you wanted to wait for me to finish up. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, man. Again, as Dr. Clark said to us back in the 90s, we don't have any friends. Until Black people from the diaspora, until they show me that they are our friends, I do not trust them. I will not conduct business with them. I don't want anything to do with them, because it's as if, see, these people are agents. And I said today in Mail Space, when she did her book reading with about Dr. Claude Anderson's book, I told them, I said, do not call that Luther boy, do not call him uncle. Call him a bootlicking Sambo agent, a COINTELPRO agent, however you want to phrase it, but refer to him as an agent. If he's concerned about why we're not, looking at the Democratic Party, well, hell, the Democratic Party is not looking at us. It's not that, the Democratic Party has an issue with Black people who have supported them for well over 50 years, and we have not received a return on our investment. But see, from what it from I mean from what the optics look like to me is that the Democratic Party has deployed Luke and others against us because someone said something today, and I was doing some other stuff, so I haven't checked it out. But someone said that that Ice-T, he said something that was pejorative about us. And see, as you know, he's married to a white girl, so he's married to a white girl who don't like to take baths. Can you imagine getting with that? Oh my goodness. But anyway, these seem to be orchestrated attacks. And I believe that these people, they are getting a check to do this. I mean, when have we attacked any of these people? And like you said, Luther Campbell made his money off of the black community. They all do. And then they turn on us and see they pretend to be one of us, but then you'll hear them later on saying, oh, I'm not black, I'm whatever. See, they have always delineated from us until it's time to get some of our money. And my position going forward is, if I don't know your paperwork, I'm not shopping with you. You can call it whatever, but I am not going to sit up here and give you my money, and then you are working against my best interest. That doesn't make any sense. So I just want people to begin to understand is that, and then also that Pan-African flag. And see, a lot of these people, they refer to themselves as being Pan-African, but yet, and they talk about moving to Africa and this, that, and whatever, but they're still here. They are still here. They have not left. The majority of them, they're broke. They don't have any money. Because I've seen, Pan-Africans who would get a lot. There were some Pan-Africans who got mad when Tyreek did Hidden Colors. They started complaining about what he should have done and he didn't do whatever. I'm like, well, hell, y'all had 60 years to do something. What did y'all do? Not a damn thing. It is amazing how these people come out of the woodwork when it's time for U.S. descendants of chattel slavery to stand up and take our rightful place. You had a guy today on Mail Space. He come in and he started talking about reparations for a minority. I said, I shut him down. I said, no. Minorities were not enslaved. It was black folks. Minorities wasn't getting hosed down during the civil rights movement. It was black folks. But see, all of a sudden, they want to throw ambiguity in here, and they want us to go along with it. Then they get an attitude when we question them. No, you are not above being questioned. And so I just want us to begin. We're going to have to begin to call these people who they are. The Roland Martins and all of them. When they come out and they are attacking us, we're going to just call them bootlicking Sambo agents, COINTEL, whatever you want to call them. But make sure the word agent is in there. Because I'm tired of these people coming out. I don't go into these people's spaces. I really don't. Because I already know, one, like as you stated, Newstoter, they're not going to allow you to talk. They're going to cut you off and possibly, put you back down to listener and try to kick you out of the room or whatever. And so don't waste your time. We have to focus on the prize we got our eyes on. We got to keep our eyes on that prize and not allow them to distract us and go over here. Like I said, let's just start calling them Luther. He's the William O'Neill who gave up the layout of Fred Hampton's apartment when they came in there and murdered him. That Dr. Perry, who when he said that they told him that they would arrest him and send him to jail. See, if someone approached me like that, trying to make me go out and turn on my people, I'm gonna say, well, you just have to lock me up. Then I'm gonna take the stand in the courtroom, and I'm gonna tell exactly why I was arrested, and it's gonna be up to whether the judge believe it or not, But I'm going to do something to make sure that black people understand what is going on, and that's the problem with we have always. I mean, even in ancient time, we have always fought an internal and an external war. And I just want people to understand that is that we are at war. And we got people who look like us that wants to come around us and try to befriend us, or they want to stand up and say that they speak for us and they got our best interest at heart. But when we start digging on them, like NARC and Cobra, the Institute of the Black World, they're taking money from white folks and they don't call their shots. So in essence, if we allow them to speak for us, we would end up with nothing as usual. So I'm gonna land with that. I just want people to understand that just remember that these people are agents. Do not refer to them as uncle, auntie, grandpa, whatever. No, call them what they are. They are agents. And I land.
Real quick before you land, I want to ask you this question real quick, original. What was your opinion about the actual school that was talking about, or the actual school that was serving the kids chicken and waffle, and the actual food vendor who seems to have a history of having this kind of insensitivity whenever Black History Month comes up?
Well, I would say the parents, they need to get together and go to the administrators of that school system and let them know that they don't appreciate this and that they need to cancel that contract. See, they would never do that to Jews. If there was a Jewish holiday or a celebration or whatever, they would never do that to them. They would never serve. Let's see, if they had some jumping beans for refried beans with Mexicans or whatever, they would never do that with any other group. They feel comfortable in doing it to us because they already know Agent Al Sharpton and the rest of them, they're not going to say anything. All they're going to say is, oh, well, that was insensitive and, people need to, well, no. They only do it to us because we don't have anyone to speak up for us. This is why I have been saying to people that we have to organize ourselves because we can't depend on the people who call themselves leaders. We can't depend on the people, the elected officials on the local, state, or national level. They're not going to defend us. And by the way, Newstoter, guess what? Here in Georgia, I've been trying to do a little research on it because I'm going to contact my representative. They are now talking about having an anti-Semitic bill here in Georgia. See, there was some flyers,
just like in Florida, it spreads.
Yes, and see what it is that and from what I have seen so far, Georgia already has a hate crime bill. So I'm going to ask my representative, why are you going to? And the black folks going to vote for it. Why are you voting for this, and why aren't you pushing for a hate crime bill for black folks? See what I think what they did after Ahmaud Arbery was savagely murdered. They have a hate crime bill, and from what I understand, it covers sex, age, race, religion, and all of that, right? So if it already covers that, why do they need an anti-Semitic bill? This is nothing but grandstanding. It's like if you look at these folks who claim to be Jews but are not, but they're the synagogue of Satan. That's in the Bible. There's nothing I'm making up. They're the synagogue of Satan. But yet, they've done so much damage to us. It's numerous. That's all I can say. It's just numerous. But I'm going to land with that, man, because like I said, people, all we got to do, people, we have to organize ourselves. We got to begin to organize off of social media because we can't let them know exactly what we're doing. We need to organize off of social media, and we can make things work. Because see, when we begin to organize and do things happen. And I'm gonna land with that.
Yeah, real quick, my girl Diane says over in YouTube, she said she listened to to Luke's space for a little while. She said, but he clearly had no knowledge of the subject of reparations. So yeah, he's forcing himself into the actual discussion as well too. So like I say, for any of the people that was up in that space yesterday, and you guys want to talk about exactly what you heard, if it's anything you thought that was constructive, anything you thought was positive, or if you just thought it was just a bunch of BS, just to once again get people to come up in the space, because pretty much like I say, Luke, he has the same people up in there. I don't go up in his spaces because I already know what it's going to be. I know it's going to pretty much be an echo chamber. He's going to pretty much run it the way he wants to. He's not going to let people get up there and actually speak and actually say what they want to say. So, to me, it's just a way of just trying to draw people in. And Sister Terrell, you had I know you left a comment that was pretty let me see if I can pull that comment up real quick. Let me see the what do you say? The water is rising at the ocean front in Miami. Gentrification pushed blacks to central Miami's higher ground. Now the sharks are biting to move blacks out. Luke needs to worry about Little Haiti, etc., instead of worrying about us. And yeah, and not only that, but that property and Little Hawaii and Little Haiti is so valuable now, like you saying, like because they just constantly gentrifying us out of Florida here. Period. If you come up North Florida, Central Florida, it's the same thing. It hasn't taken effect like it has in South Florida, but they're just constantly just gentrifying, just taking areas up and stuff too. Like yeah, so areas before that they wouldn't touch with a 50-foot pole. Now they're trying to get that property over there in Little Haiti, and some of those places, it's prime real estate, and it's already expensive to live in Miami. So yeah, people are getting pushed out, and they're going to continue to get pushed out. And that's what he should be holding spaces on, since he lives in Miami. He should be holding spaces about people being gentrified out of the actual area that he's at. He's sitting up here worried about something about talking about trying to start some kind of conflict, that sitting up here talking about that freedmen hate Caribbeans and Democrats and stuff like that. That's nothing constructive is going to come from that. You sitting up here putting out these kind of spaces, and unlike a lot of these other people that's on Twitter, you actually have a legacy, you actually have a platform, you actually have a voice. Like it or not, Luther Campbell is respected in a lot of parts of Miami and stuff as well too, because he has done work in the inner cities and stuff like that as well too. Of course, he made his money off of Black Americans, but he has done some work with little leaguers and stuff like that, and getting some of those kids off the colleges and stuff like that as well too. So, but at the same time, that needs to be your focus, and stop trying to with these straw man arguments and sitting up here talking about because if any group in this country has a right to be pissed off at the Democrats, it's Black Americans. Anybody else can sit up here and act like there's no problem, but if anybody has a problem with the Democratic Party and the 60 years of servitude, because that's exactly what it's been, servitude that they've given the Democratic Party, is Black people. And the same party that tells you to kiss their ass when it comes to election time, they can't do this, they can't do that for you, but they can do it for any and everybody else. Yeah, Black people are pissed off. This is not the baby boomer generation, and this is not the World War II generation as well too. You got different people coming up that have had enough. They've seen their parents struggle, they've seen the grandparents struggle, they've seen the aunts, the uncles struggle, and they're tired of voting for the same sinking ship all the time. I mean, people act like the Democratic Party just handcuffed it. They can't do any and everything, and we proved before, even with that in that one space we had when we was talking about the actual George Floyd Policing Act, when they had control of the House and the Senate, and they still couldn't get it passed. So every time they have control of something, and it's something that may impact Black people, because even the George Floyd Policing Act, even though a Black man got killed and it's named after them, it's going to impact everybody. So even anything that's going to particularly impact everybody, especially Black people, not just solely for Black people, but it's going to have a major impact on the way Black people are treated. It's always a problem. It's always an issue that you can't pass. And Luke is sitting up here acting like, hey, Black people don't have a right to voice their opinion. Same Black people for 60 years that's been voting Democrat, die hard, they don't have a right to sit up here. And not only do you say that, Luke, but you also sit up here and you're trying to start something inflammatory. You're sitting up here talking about the freedmen, the 8OS, the FBA, that they hate. Now you change the title of the rumor that they hate Caribbeans. Okay. Judge Sarah, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Newstoter. I'm okay.
You okay, Judge? You sound kind of low there. You all right?
I got an opinion.
Oh, okay. Hey, go ahead and say your opinion. Hey, you free.
I got an opinion. And you know what? I would like to have a conversation with you about this. In terms of Luke, I went in this room and he let me speak, and actually I didn't have to wait in line. In terms of really quick about, I don't have issues with Luke, and I didn't stay long. I recognize that his space is for entertainment, and that's what it is. so I don't have any expectations. I don't know. I didn't stay long. Before I say anything, I could ask Professor. Professor, did you feel like Luke was being against Black people? Because I didn't stay long. Professor, you there? Professor was there too. I didn't. That was not my experience. What you're saying, so maybe I didn't stay long. But do you feel like that he was trying to start problems with Black Americans?
Yeah, he was trying to start punk motherfucker. Anyway, what he needs to do when he's singing that song "Banned from the USA," it was meant for him. He needs to stay banned from the USA. So that means he needs to get out of the USA with this shit that he's talking now. Because he was never about politics, like Newstoter said. He was never about politics back in the day, except when they were getting ready to ban his damn music. Then he came out with that song "Banned from the USA" or "Banned in the USA," and that ended up in the Supreme Court. That's the only thing that this punk motherfucker will ever be known for. He did win the U.S. Supreme Court for rap, and that helped the rap. Now, that did help the rap game. So we'll give Luke credit, because he actually helped NWA and some of the other rappers that were out there. So he did lead the way on that.
Freedom of speech, right?
Yeah, freedom of speech. So he led the way on that. We're going to give him a little credit there. Now, but when we talking about coming into our business, Foundation of Black American or Black descendants of, American descendants of slavery, whatever you want to call yourself, Negro, whatever. When it comes to our reparations, we need Luke to stay out of these affairs. Him, Nikki Barnes, and whoever that other thing that was up there co-hosting, I think that's Nikki's best friend, Lindy or Lindsay or somebody. But anyway.
I think her name was Leslie, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Leslie, yeah. See, these folks are nothing but tethers, and they support the Democratic Party big time, everybody. I want you to understand, when you go up into new spaces, that's what you're going to get. People that support the Democratic Party, they're going to tell you to vote blue no matter who, and they're going to try to sell you on all this Democratic homosexuality bullshit, which, by the way, who was in that room yesterday, Judge, that you got into it with?
Well, I didn't get into it. Okay, so I don't know if you was there, but I made reference to the guy with the dick that always come in there talking about his dick, and Luke let me see. So let me. Okay, Professor. I want to comment. I want to have a conversation with Luke about this. Okay, so in terms of Luke, I didn't stay long. What you guys are saying about Luke, that's not my experience. Okay, I felt like his space for entertainment. And I don't want to speak much on that. What I want to talk to you about, Newstoter, but I want us to have this conversation, and hopefully we can, about the chicken, waffles, and the and the watermelon. And I want to say to the room that I have a different opinion. Okay, what's important to me is that Black people are liberated. We're not liberated, and they continue to harm us because we're not participating in the proper activities. That farmer was arrested, okay? They are maligning that farmer. I want to cry in broad daylight. And they doing it because they can. They maligning that man in broad daylight. I did research of the sheriff. That sheriff sued the previous sheriff. There's a history of corruption in law enforcement. And nobody's talking about this man and what's happening to him. And they do, and I'm going to say it again. They continue to fuck with us because they can. They see Black people like little children who need help, who cannot take care of their affairs. That's how they perceive us. They have no fear of us. We are not a threat to them. I don't know what went on in Luke's base. I don't care about Luke. Luke is trying to make money and get. I don't know what he's doing, but he has not done nothing to me, so I don't have an issue with him. I want to talk to you, Newstoter, about the issue with the watermelon. I want to give the room my perspective. Because, see, what I see is they do little things to us, and Black people get bent out of shape about watermelon when they killing Black people every day. And it posts all over every publication about motherfucking watermelon. And they killing us in broad daylight. Okay, Newstoter, I want to ask you, because to the room, my perception is very different. My understanding is that watermelon was a way that Black people earned money and earned income. Is that correct? These are the things that I'm learning being in the spaces, okay? Because the thing that I don't get is that I like watermelon and I like Kool-Aid. I like fried chicken and I like ribs and collard greens because I'm Black and that's part of my culture. Okay, so for Newstoter, I really want to have a conversation with you about the watermelon because I like watermelon. And I think that it's cultural for us to eat watermelon in the summer. I don't understand how it becomes derogatory if that's what we do. If we like watermelon, why is it embarrassing that we like watermelon? What's embarrassing about that? Because I like watermelon.
Because, Judge, real quick, because all of the racist propaganda and all of the racist stuff over the years that when they were destroying Black people and stuff like that, they would prop up a lot of these things like the watermelon and the chicken and everything that we consider stereotypical now. They was putting that stuff, spray painted on people's property and all kind of negative, dirty type things as well. You're right. Black people, we know Black people eat fried chicken. White people eat fried chicken. But the fact of the matter is that whenever it came as a way of tearing Black people down, they were quick to go ahead and put that up. Let's say this right here, because I grew up because I'm born and raised in Florida. Down south at one time, we used to have what they call Jewish holidays, Yom Kippur and this and that. They would call them Jewish holidays. Now, I bet you anything in the world that they wasn't going to come with an egg cream and bagels and stuff like that and serve that for lunch and say, hey, we celebrating Jewish culture. Or they wasn't going to come. They weren't going to come with if it was something about Chinese people, they weren't going to come with chopsticks and shrimp fried rice and this and that and say, well, hey, we're paying respect to the Asians and stuff at school. But no, with Black people, and this stuff here was done on purpose. I get what you're saying, that yeah, you can enjoy this stuff and this and that, but it's a reason that a lot of Black people won't eat watermelon in public if white people are around, or are careful about how they eat chicken and stuff like that, because all the negativity that came with it. Yeah, Black people raised watermelon. My grandma, she grew some huge watermelons. My grandma grew everything, corn, sweet potatoes, you name it, peas and everything else. And she grew some huge watermelons and stuff like that. But it's still a stereotype and there's still a negativity around with it. So we know. Yeah, she was my grandma farmed and stuff like that. So she grew a lot of stuff, not just watermelons, but she grew a lot of stuff.
Okay, so what I want to ask you to do in the room to do is to see it. Just try to see what I'm saying. Okay, this is something that we like. So what racist devils do is take what we like and try to put a negative connotation to what we like, and it's hurtful to me because what I see and what I hear is Black people seeing Black people through the eyes of white people. We like watermelon. So because we're Black, it's bad to like watermelon? Because I understand the negative tropes that they've done. They do that because it's what we like. And what I think is crazy is this is who we are, and we own it because they want to make it negative and nasty. We want to follow suit. Because years ago, in the 70s, having big lips was a bad thing. They killing themselves to have lips like us. Okay? So I'm just saying that because I don't get bent out of shape over bullshit. I like watermelon. And I have no problem with eating watermelon, fried chicken, and greens in front of anybody because I'm Black, and that's part of my culture. And I am proud to be a Black woman. And I'm disturbed, Newstoter, because it's such a big deal because they put watermelon
Okay, but Judge, not to cut you off. Now you do know that one time they used to have little Black kids out there at a table and stuff have watermelon eating contests to see who can clean the rind up the fastest, sitting up there. Also, also real quick, Judge, real quick. You know, if you know, they taking this stuff at the middle schools and stuff like that with kids out there. They're actually treating these kids to these type of meals like that and basically telling them like, well, this is your culture or whatever. So if it's not an issue, They should go ahead and go to the parents' job and take it up there. Why not go up there to some of these state agencies and these federal buildings and stuff like that where their parents might be employed at, and come in there with fried chicken and watermelon and Kool-Aid and ribs and collard greens and say, here, y'all, this is part of y'all culture. Since nothing, since it's no big deal, nobody should take offense to it. Why don't they go to some of these buildings, some of these corporations and some of these state and federal government jobs and stuff like that? Go up to these black employees, say, hey, ain't no big deal. Y'all eat fried chicken. You get grease on your hands. You got greasy lips and stuff like that. Here, go ahead and eat it up.
I mean, Newstoter, honey, I understand. And the dishes that you're talking about, I've seen them. I'm black. I know what they do. What I'm trying to say, and I'm so sorry, when I get annoyed because I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that they keep harming us, and they do little things, and they get a rise out of us, like we're children. I have no problem with having watermelon. I know Aramark, that actually was my client when I worked in this. I sold industrial supply. It may have been offensive. It may have been made purposely to harm us or to embarrass us, possibly. But what my thing is, I want to call you Professor. You guys remind me of each other. Newstoter, is that I think we have big fish to fry. They have this man that bought 100 million acres or whatever. This man that bought all these acres. He's trying to farm and be a farmer, and they fucking with him. They done arrested him on some bullshit, and we sitting here talking about watermelon. And that's the point that I'm making, Newstoter. They fuck with us because we are no threat to them. They'll say one little ignorant shit, and everybody get up in arms. It's weeks and weeks of talk about ignorant shit. And I'm telling you, because I come from this environment, I know these people. We are no threat to them. I understand that you're offended. I don't care about them giving our kids watermelon. I actually like watermelon. My heart is hurting for that man who's in jail. That he tried to redo his life, bought acres, and he's trying to farm, and they're attacking him. That's far more important than them trying to serve our kids watermelon. And then that's the point that I'm making. I just think we spend a whole lot of time spinning our wheels when we should be doing the work. I mean, are you not concerned about the farmer being locked up? They just made up charges.
Well, now, yeah, but Judge, you remember now we had the farmer on here. We had an interview with him, so we're definitely concerned about his safety. I just heard about this a couple hours ago that they locked him up from some of the DMs that everybody was sending. So we're definitely we spoke to the brother. You just from speaking to the brother, you can hear his tone, his voice, and everything to let you know that he had been going through a lot. The brother was shook. So we're definitely worried about that. But I'm going to say this part right here, Judge, and I'm going to go ahead and get the professor and then DJ, and we'll get back to you. I'm going to say this right here. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. We have a much more bigger fish to fry. And I would not deny that. There's so many different things out here that we need to worry about and concentrate on that it's kind of hard to prioritize what's more important. So I would definitely agree with you. But I'm going to say this right here, this much as well, too. We see this, the way that black people are treated as compared to everybody else. A few months ago, Kyrie Irving retweeted something, and everybody in this country had an uproar. I mean, they suspended the guy. He was losing money, this and that. He was public enemy number one because he retweeted something about a movie that was out, a documentary that was out on Amazon. Okay. And everybody in the world want to see this man punished. They want to see it taken to him. Now, he simply retweeted something. Okay? So you see the difference now. Like I said, had this been a Jewish school and somebody would have done this exact same thing to Jewish kids or Asian kids now, because we know that they're the model minority and they getting status and they getting protection and everything else like that, people would be pissed off. But the thing about it, and I agree with you, you're right. They don't respect black people. They feel like they can kick black people around as much as possible. And you get a little bit upset. This person came with this little BS apology. Oh, we didn't do this. You did it a few years ago, man. So you did it a few years ago and nothing happened to you. Nothing's going to happen to you this time too. So I'm in agreement with you. We do have much bigger fish to fry. We most certainly do. But at the same time, like I said, if you're going out there, I'm gonna be honest. I have middle school kids myself. And if you go out there and you're sending them a watermelon and chicken and you think you're gonna be funny about it, and that you're just gonna sit up here and go ahead and you're gonna talk about that's your culture and this and that or whatever, eat up or whatever, I'm gonna go out there to that school and we're gonna have us a sit down. We're gonna have us a talk. Okay, you're gonna sit down with a black man that's gonna let you know he doesn't appreciate you doing that with his children. That's the way my mother was. That's the way my father. And I'm gonna sit right out there, and I'm gonna go right out there, and I'm gonna tell you, you're not gonna sit up here. This is insensitive. This is it's nothing funny about this whatsoever. You know.
I understand, and I just got to be honest with you. If it was my kids, they would have been happy. My kids would have came home and said, "Mom, we had chicken and waffles and watermelon," and I wouldn't have made a big deal out of it. I wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been that serious.
And I respect.
I think they would have enjoyed it.
I respect and judge. I respect. I respect. I respect. You know what I'm saying? I respect your right. I respect anybody in here. Nobody has to agree with anything I'm saying. So I respect if that's what you feel or whatever. A lot of people are like, hey, and let's be honest, you got a lot of black kids that go to school, and the only time they actually get a decent meal, unfortunately, some of them is when they actually at these public schools. Unfortunately, we have so many food shortages and droughts and stuff in this country in the black neighborhood that sometimes the only time these kids are really getting a real good meal is when they go to school. So I understand what you're saying. You know, I respect your opinion. Mine differs from what you're saying, but hey, I'm not here to tell you that you right or you wrong or whatever. I mean, you have an opinion and you're entitled to it. So I definitely wouldn't. I'm not trying to force my opinion on you, but I'm just telling you as a man.
Good. Yeah. Good, Newstoter. I spend a lot of time more than I should, and I do because I think that you are very. I think you do this well. I think you hold space very well, and I think you are very open. You let people speak, and I think this is what I think your talent is. So I'm okay. I'm just sharing my opinion, and it differs from those in the room because I'm trying to win. And talking about chicken and watermelon is not how we're gonna win.
Real talk. I understand. Let's go ahead and go to we got Professor and then we got DJ. What's going on, Professor?
Yeah, what's up again, Newstoter and DJ brothers? Good to see you. Hate that Ray is not in here, but thinking about that brother too, and all of y'all in the space. I see you right there, Disruptor, Tammy, aka Tammy. No taxation, brother Leon. Haven't seen him in a minute, but he's up in here. Brother Muko right there. Good to see you, bro. And Original Blood always up in here teaching. Always. And Aunt Lai. You can't have a space without Sister Aunt Lai, y'all. She's powerful. And Sister Mel Cruz up in here chilling. Tara Lewis, Real Women right there. Just everybody in space. Black Majority, I guess he is up in here, I think, somewhere. And so everybody in space, man, I hope everybody's enjoying. Newstoter always hold great spaces. As you all see, the judge, she comes in, she's always different with her opinion. That's why I like her. She do come with a difference. She's speaking her mind about the chicken and waffles, and in a way, I tend to agree with what she's saying on this. And I say that because we got so many powerful issues going on, y'all, that I'm kind of like when I see all the like stereotype type stuff that they throw at us, they always have tried to throw negative stereotypes at us. But then if you notice, the caucasoids will always try to pick up the very negative stereotypes that they try to throw at us. Like the whole big lip thing, but look at the white women that are going out here getting the big lips and the big booty, right? They used to make fun of black women with the big booty, right? But look at the white women that's trying to get the big booty. So if you think about it, y'all, they throw these negative stereotypes out here about us, but then they come later on and they still trying to be us, right? So in a way, what Judge is saying is right on the money here. You know, now, I'd be the first one to get on the judge. You know, everybody know I get on the judge because she'll come up in here with some shit that I just don't like. You know, but right now,
I love you too.
She hitting on some points here. Because I am right now concerned about all this stuff that's going on with C.W. Mallory. I found out about his situation, and man, it's like this brother is just catching hell, man. When a black American man that has served the country is being abused the way he is, I just want to get on this plane and go out there and do what I can to help him solve this problem. I feel like all of us need to just get on a plane or get in cars or buses, and we need to head out there because we see Black American people being fucked with all over the country. And it's something that has just really been eating away at me, y'all. Every time I see these videos of our people being abused by the cops, it's being done on purpose. And it makes me so angry the more I see these videos, the more I see the stories, the storylines where they think they can just get away with anything. It just makes me angry, more angry every day. So my mind right now is on how to resolve the issues of protection for Black American freedmen. I don't give a damn really about Luke Skywalker, whatever that punk motherfucker's name is over there. Banned from the USA. That's his name. Banned in the USA. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's flip it. He's banned from Black America spaces. We don't need his ass talking about our reparations. See, I just hit a rhyme for y'all. There it is right there. Now, I don't care about Luke.
Bars.
I don't care about Luke. But what I am trying to get us to see, y'all, what the judge is saying right now is we got to get onto some bigger issues. C.W. Mallory right now is one of them, but then there's others too. I'm worried about trying to get some legislation, y'all. We got too many hate crimes being committed against us, and I'm worried about our kids being attacked. I'm worried about the women being attacked. I see videos where our women are being beat up by cops just punching them in the faces, and then white men attacking them, and then the Black women end up going to jail. I think that just happened recently. I can't remember what state, but a Black woman or two sisters were attacked by a white man. The white man, I think, was homeless. Now, the homeless white man got away with it. I think they gave him a ticket or something. But the two sisters ended up going to jail. Now, see, does that make sense to you guys? See, this is what I'm talking about. They doing this stuff intentionally. So give it to the judge on this, y'all. She's been on the money with this stuff, man. It was a time that I really didn't want to hear her shit. But now I kind of sit back and I be listening to her, and I be like, damn, sister be on point with some of this stuff, cause she's saying we got bigger fish to fry. You know, so I kind of see where she's coming from on that. I'm gonna land my plane right now.
All right, Professor. Appreciate that. Let me give a shout out real quick also to Napoleon. Thank you, Napoleon, for your contribution on Cash App. It's greatly appreciated. Y'all, in the Jumbotron, you will find the actual Newstoter YouTube channel and newsletter. Y'all go ahead and make sure you go ahead and subscribe to both of those. Please go ahead and subscribe to both of those. Also, if you can support us on Cash App, it's $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, largest Black American news media curation platform today in America. So please go ahead and support us if you can. I also went ahead and added C.W. Mallory's name up in the actual title as well, too, guys, because we know that this is a major story. We had him on a couple weeks ago. The interview with him and his wife even came in towards the tail end. So you guys, we talking about Luke, we talking about Black History Month, and just some of the blatant disrespect that's been shown. And we also going to talk about C.W. Mallory as well too. Wishing his brother, the best. He's definitely up against it up there in Colorado. People trying to go ahead and take his land and his property. So just go ahead, guys. If you guys want to speak on that as well, too, I'm not going to stop. Professor asked me in a DM. I told him I'll try to go ahead and cover it, but it's major. It needs to be covered. And so we're going to go ahead and talk about that as well, too. Professor, I did spell his name correct in the title, didn't I?
Yes, that's it. That is it right there. Thank you, Newstoter, man, because it's something that has been really eating away at me, man. Because I'm just thinking, man, they making up shit on this man. From my understanding, family, they charged this brother with stalking. Now, how the hell do you do that when this is his land and you've been out there targeting and harassing him, killing his farm animals, and I think farm hands, one of his helpers, ended up dead some kind of way.
They executed him.
Okay, they executed him. See, this is what I'm talking about, y'all, and I just can't get this out of my mind. That's why I say I would like to get on a bus. Like, I like to take all of the Black American family, all of us, right? And we just go out there and we're going to have to get on some asses, man. Because we seeing our people get abused in all kinds of ways that it just can't happen anymore. We got to stop it. We got to take it into our own hands.
Real talk. Professor, let me go ahead real quick. DJ, you had your hand up.
Hey, let somebody else go real quick. 2 seconds. I'll go next.
Okay, Tata, go ahead. How you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm fine. I think it was brother.
I'm not sure which one of y'all had y'all hands up. I know it's around about the same time. Brother McCool, I don't know. Did you have your hands up first?
Ooh, ladies first.
I'll go. If nobody else wants, I'll go.
No, you'll wait for a second, Tammy. Hold on.
We represented at Grammys last night. Free City was in the building. Let's go.
Okay, you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Good evening, family. Okay, I posted something in the jumbotron here of this flyer that was shared here in my hometown in Florida, and I want you guys to tell me what you think about it, because I got a lot of people back and forth with me. Normally, some days I'll check in on Facebook because that's where a lot of my family is. But I saw this flyer on Facebook from one of the girls that I went to school with, high school with, and she was the one that was spearheading this event with the city. Okay, and so when I saw this, and I was like, just very pissed off. I feel that was very disrespectful for you to make this out of a Black History Month, out of a multicultural event. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And so right now, as I said, last night, they're back and forth like, this is everybody's history. And I'm like, I think not. Where were they in the fight? When our ancestors had to endure what they endured. And I got one of these Haitian girls like, oh, I thought I was Black too. I'm like, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And so I'm back talking to them, about this nonsense, about this flyer here. And I'm like, okay, this would have been great any other month, but why you had to insert all these groups into our month? You could have did this any other time, but not this month. We already have a short month. We fought for this month. So why would you do that? Cinco de Mayo's coming up. We won't insert ourselves, and they're not even going to put us in that. So why would you do that? And I'm like, first of all, anybody that was part of the Chucks and Pearls crew, you can't tell me a goddamn thing. I don't want to get shit for no Chucks and Pearls group, because we are in this position because of y'all Black ass women doing this shit. You can't tell me nothing. And this right here was very disrespectful. I'm so pissed off with this flyer. So tell me what you think about it. And I'm sorry, Newstoter. I'm so pissed with this.
Oh, you good? I mean, it's a bunch of different things that like little sneak attacks that they doing and stuff like that. That they're just completely disrespectful. Plus, Tata, I think you in Florida like I am, so we down here with the good old boys, and so we pretty much.
This is our people joining in with this nonsense. It's our people, and where I am, it's a lot of Black. This is a Black town that was gentrified, with all these Mexicans and Hispanic groups coming in. I'm like, you just handing the culture over to, on a silver platter to these people. I'm like, what are y'all doing? And but I'm the problem right now.
Oh snap! That same flyer you had that was on the Newstoter website. I just didn't tweet it out, but yeah, that was a few days ago. Like I'm looking at it, like that was on. Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah, just yesterday.
And there's some white folks on the cover. They ain't black.
Yeah.
That's a poppy and a mommy right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was two black ladies, had a this like, oh, let's, invite other people in and everything. I was like, oh my God. So one of this other girl told me about who was spearheading this. She was like, yeah, this was the city, and and the one of the either the mayor, she's a black lady here, and some other groups of black women was on board to do this. I think they're so scared. They want to be comfortable with these, with these white folks, these Hispanic groups. They're scared or whatever. They think they need to pander to these folks. I'm like, we have a huge MLK parade here. And I'm like, where was all these people, support patronizing your businesses up and down this street? I mean, huge, flooded with black businesses, food trucks. I didn't see nobody down there from any other group. These Hispanics that just ramshacked our community. Where were they? But you want to have a multicultural event for them. It's insane. It's sick.
Hey, I agree with you. And the crazy thing about it too is like if you were to like now anybody can go ahead and claim Black History Month, but just for instance, if you was to say, you know what, that like when you start talking about ancient Egypt and you start talking about the relationship, okay, the ancient Egyptians was black and this and that, and you'll have a lot of African people who tell you quick, like, well, they was black, but they weren't your kind of black. I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, well, y'all are related to the West Africans and they're from East Africa, North Africa, and you don't have any ties to that whatsoever. So it's like whenever when you start talking about historical world type history and Black Americans, somehow try to put themselves into that. A lot of people will tell you, like, hey, that don't belong to you. That's not part of you. If you talk about the Mali Empire or you talk about Mansa Musa and them and stuff like that, even though they from West Africa, people are like, well, that ain't got nothing to do with you, cotton picker. All kind of ridiculous stuff like that. Now, when you start claiming the stuff that was built over here by Black Americans and some of the icons as Black Americans, you start talking about Muhammad Ali and you start talking about George Washington Carver and all of the inventions and stuff that Black people did here. And it's like, oh yeah, well, we all one people and stuff like that. I'm like, wait a minute. 1 second you said we're not one people. Now we're one people when it's time to go ahead and claim what Black Americans have done. Muhammad Ali just wasn't a Black American. He was Black person. Like, I mean, so it's just like, well, you can't win for lose here. So I understand exactly what you're saying. That little photo there, like DJ say, those people, and those not even Black Hispanics there. Those are pure, white Hispanics up there on the cover. Like, so no, it's ridiculous. Yeah. All right. Tata, thank you, sister. Brother McCoo, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, what's going on, Newstoter?
What's up?
I'm gonna just say, Luke. I'm gonna stick with original. I was up in Miss Cruz's space earlier, and I'm with him on that. Luke ain't never been my uncle. Ain't been no uncle of mine. Ain't never been no dirty uncle. I ain't got no dirty uncle. You know what I mean? So as far as Luke is me, he calling pro-tell, just like my man original said, snitch, enemy to the Black race. I mean, all I ever seen him doing, degenerate, you know what I'm saying?
Degenerate.
Yeah, degenerate girls on stage, you know what I'm saying? All sex and all.
Look, I can't say bird, Buick. See, Buick. See, I can't say that.
But and then so yeah, I think he got bigger fish to fry, and it ain't our fish. As far as Black History Month, I've always been saying for a long time. I love my ancestors. Every part of me is my ancestors. They deserve more than a goddamn month. Fuck Black History Month. It's about Black History yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got years of goddamn achievements that we achieved even before these motherfuckers came into existence. So I ain't even worried about no Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? I shout out to my great grandma Aline Hunt. You know what I'm saying? She deserved years. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't even subjugate myself with just limit myself to just one goddamn month. You know what I'm saying? We bigger than the goddamn months. We got centuries of history, and it ain't their history. Everything that happened in time is history, and I understand that. I just want to harp on this. Always be suspicious of white people feeding your children. Took my children out of the public school system for that reason. I cannot get angry at any white person for feeding my child if I allow my child to be around that goddamn enemy. So we need to be more unapologetic about being about us and individuals that look like us. I'm around white individuals all day, every day. I do business with a lot of white people. We have talks all the time. And I ask them all the time, just like I asked Gabe, fuck a list. I want a list. Some white people practice racism, white supremacy. I think if we concentrate more on staying on code with the questions that we ask our enemies and the answers that we get, and recording them and making notes of the answers that we get so we can be codified in our actions. A lot of this shit wouldn't happen. So I'm going to stress again, and I'll repeat again. Always be cautious of white people feeding your children. Be cautious of eating from white people if you are not white. You know what I'm saying? Don't trust this shit. Public Enemy told you back in the day. I'm still telling people today. Don't trust that shit. C.W. Mallory. This is an example of us being powerless. I'm with Professor on this. I wish we all could just go down there and bear arms with our brother and go against the enemy. But it's unfortunate that we got so many individuals out here that ain't got no smoke for the enemy, but they got so much smoke for people that look like them. That shit is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Talk big shit on the app, but when you get in front of White Jack, you be, oh, hey, buddy. Change your whole fucking domain. We need to get on some whole brand new shit, some codified shit, unapologetic. You know what I'm saying? So let's stay more codified, be more codified, and I love y'all. I'm like,
All right, thank you, brothers. Always, let's go ahead and kick it to DJ. You was next, but did you want to speak or you what?
No, we can let the other folks go. What's up, Tammy? I see sister. My twin Wilson is up in the building. Appreciate you, brother McCool.
All right.
Always saying what he's saying. But let's sister Tammy go.
Yeah, Tammy, you go ahead and make sure y'all, because I'm trying to see because I can't remember if that's actually the correct way to spell CW's name, because I'm seeing a bunch of different spellings as well too. So if you guys find the correct spelling, let me know.
Yeah, I think it's L-O-R-Y. I think so. Yeah. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Okay. You got it, Tammy.
Hey, y'all. Everybody doing okay?
Yeah, we good.
Yes, ma'am. How can we disrupt something? Yes, ma'am. Let's get to it. No, man. What you doing? What you doing?
Well, I'm going to tell Judge I never thought to think of it that way. I know the way most of us think of it, we think it's an insult. And how dare you? Because that's the way it looks. Why are you trying to tell us about eating watermelon and chicken wings or whatever? But I never thought about, well, I know it's an insult. But do we really know that they did it to be an insult? But probably they did. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah. You know what? You got tears in my eyes because I'm trying to show y'all. Newstoter said his mama she raised watermelons, big one, and
No,
that's pride.
that's my grandma. Grandma raised that.
Grandma raised watermelons. That's something they did good. They take what we do good and turn it around and make it bad, and we fall into the fucking trap. Your grandma raised big watermelons, was known for raising big watermelons. I don't know any white people that don't like watermelons. I don't know anybody who don't like watermelon. So do you understand what I'm saying? Tammy, I appreciate you saying that. Because they fuck with us. And we fall into the trap. Your grandmother May was known for growing big watermelons. That's pride. That's a good thing. Thank you, Tammy. So that's what I was going to say. And I was going to also say, I appreciate everybody's knowledge. I appreciate this too. Thank you. DJ, everybody, Professor. I haven't heard you do this much, bad language. So you are really funny, huh? Okay, y'all. But that's what me.
All right, Tammy, you were done?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go ahead and get to Wilson. Wilson, go ahead and unmute your mic. Then we're gonna get to Mel, and then I get back to you, Original.
Hi, everybody. I have a cold, so I'm going to be talking very. What's up, twin? How you doing? He and I really do look like each other. When we met each other, we really do look like each other. It's so funny.
Hey, Brick City in the building, broader market. Let's go.
Latifah made us proud yesterday. I want to say.
Oh yeah. Shout out to the Queen. Let's go, yo. Brick City represented all yesterday. Don't forget. I know you just went in on Ice T, but Ice T from Brick City too. He born and raised. He not a West. He moved to the West. Let's go. He our boy first.
That's true. I want to say a couple of things. I just saw, maybe a day or two ago, a piece under the guise of Black History about watermelons and how it has been so stereotyped negatively, that it was never like that, that the ancestors grew some of the most beautiful watermelons and were able to make a living off of it, and be able to sustain their family and livelihood. And with the success of that, white people, of course, I could, if I had to pay $1, you all would know I'd be broke right now. You know what happened. They negatively stereotyped the entire thing to deter the revenue stream from us to them. And so they started promoting and branding watermelon as the negative, the Sambo, the big teeth in the eye, bucking and all that bullshit. And the premise of this was to educate us, but also to say, because Black people, including myself, I used to be that kind of person. Oh, I'm not eating no watermelon. I don't want nobody to see me eat watermelon. Isn't that bullshit? I love watermelon. And so at the end of the day, they're saying, don't you fall into that bullshit. You eat your goddamn watermelon and grow it if you can grow it. That's number one. Number two, I want to get back to Mr. and Mrs. Malloy out there in Colorado. If anybody is interested, I posted on my IG page information as soon as I heard that he was detained and not able to be released. I know that Hawk Newsom out in New York, he's a serious activist. I did donate money, and I think some people here might have donated money towards getting a Black militia out there to protect him. Now that Mr. Malloy is detained, my fear is that Mrs. Malloy is out there on her own. And I'm trying to reach Hawk Newsom because I'm saying, out of the $10,000 that you're asking for, you're about over $7,000. who gives a fuck about the rest of that money? Get out there with your militia. Get out there, because the longer she's out there without her husband, the more danger she's in. That they killed her, their ranch hand. These people need to be punished. In my my Twitter page, you'll see the phone number to call the police station. But also, what I'm going to do after this, that goddamn House representative, House nigga, his name is, can't stand this man, because I've been sending him messages about this situation and he will not respond. What's his name? I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but he's a Congressman Joe Negus, N as in Nancy, E, G as in giraffe.
He's an African cat, I think, isn't he?
S-E. Yeah, he's from Eritrea, born in America. Not saying a fucking thing. And we need to call this fucker, because at the end of the day, this is on his dime. This man should be paying attention to what's going on here. And this is why we need a publication. We need to, they would talk about Ebony Magazine is owned by some Haitian or African. Jet Magazine, I don't know what's going on with that, but we need publication. We need publication, because things like this on a national scale, this Joe Nikis is not paying us any mind. So what I'm going to do is post his phone numbers. There's 2 of them. I'm begging everybody to not only retweet the post that I have about his arrest, but also retweet what I'm about to post about Joe Nagis with his phone number. And I'm asking all of you if you can call these people. If we can call 3 times each to the police station and to Joe Nagis. And then I'm going to try to reach out to Hawk Newsom, because I'm thinking, look, you're about $2,800 short at this point right now. Get out there, because I fear for his wife. I do. I fear for his wife.
Real quick, Wilson, what happened to the one? Because we had that space a couple weeks ago, and we had the gun club in there, and a number of us donated. So what happened to them?
Yes, I donated that. Hawk Newsom, I don't know. I mean, I donated to that too. This is another thing. There's a lot of habits that we have as people that we have to break. One of it is we have to have follow through. I'm guilty of this. Newstoter, I don't know what happened to that. That's not a part of Hawk Newsom's fundraising. Am I correct?
No, this is another individual. I can't remember his name, but
Okay.
it was the EP, I believe, Gun Club or something.
Yes. Yeah, because I have the receipt for that. Yeah, I have the receipt for that one, and I have the receipt for Hawk Newsom's. Hawks was requesting $10,000. He's over 7,000. He has a broad appeal, and so I'm thinking, if both fundraising can get together and just get out there and protect this woman, because if they could kill their ranch hand and eviscerate their animals, totally eviscerate them, behead them and shoot them, there's nothing they wouldn't do to this woman. Who was that? I mean, I have to look at my receipts. I get so many emails. I just want to get him and Hawk Newsom together to go out there together and protect that land, protect that family, and protect that woman, because they're going to come for her. This is where you need a goddamn bazooka on your shoulder and blow their motherfucking asses to smithereens and be done with it. They have no right to infringe on their land. They have no right to infringe on their livelihood. And these people need to be punished. So I land with that. I'm going to put Joe Nagis's information up, and I'm begging all of you to not only call Joe Nagis's number 3 times each, but also call that goddamn police station with them white crackers down there 3 times each. Thank you so much.
Real quick, Wilson. Real quick. How do you spell his last name? Because I'm getting so many different so many different spellings.
Sure. It is, and I'm going to do it phonetically. Joe Nagis.
No. I'm talking about CW. Because I'm hearing it's ORYERY.
MALLOY. He goes by C, its initial C as in cat, period, W as in winter, period, Malloy, M as in Mary, Alloy. If you look on my Twitter, my Twitter, you'll see my latest post is about this arrest.
Jumbotron on the far left side. Jumbotron far left side. Y'all.
Okay, because I have an article on Newstoter, and I just have to go and check because I'm hearing the MOY, I'm hearing MORY, I'm hearing ERY.
Hey, y'all, we're gonna tell y'all there is an update. That's what I'm trying to break in. There's an update from the Geronimo Pratt Club. They've been tweeting it out here, so I'm gonna put it in the Jumbotron. Hold on.
I gotta follow them. Geronimo Pratt. Okay.
No, Elma Geronimo Pratt.
Oh, Pratt. Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put it in the Jumbotron.
And what's the update? Is he free?
Okay, it says here. This was an hour ago. It says we can't go into details, sister, due to OPSEC, but can say that EGPGC, whatever that is, has been a part of the ground rotation at the ranch. I guess that means that they have been rotating people at the ranch, so they still got protection.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, but they still got protection. Now, this is EGPGC, so I think that's Elma Geronimo Pratt Gun Club.
Okay.
Yeah. So they are still out there protecting the ranch and the sisters. They still protect them. Okay. This is something they sent to Marcel, by the way, y'all. This is what I'm reading. This is actually going to Marcel.
I had copied Marcel on my initial post too, but I wanted to say that we have a congressman who has our skin color, and that motherfucker is not speaking up. Now he wants people to give him support. He needs to open up his goddamn mouth. I have been from last week calling that fool. I need people to call that man, because if anything happens in our families on,
is Mel still there? Mel. Did we lose her?
Yeah, she was just here a second ago because she was actually next to speak. Mel, she dropped down the list now.
I'll send another invite. She'll see it and come back over. She ready. Go ahead though.
Okay, real quick.
So basically,
I'm gonna say.
Finish this like quick news total. It says we are currently providing resources.
Oh, my bad, Professor. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Professor. My bad.
Okay, I'm going back to it, y'all. I'm just trying to finish it up right quick. We are currently providing resources to get him released as soon as possible. Any other questions or concerns, DM Nick Basil. I think Nick Basil is the guy that owns the gun club. Do y'all remember him?
Yeah, that's the one that was in the space. Yeah.
Okay, so any more concerns or questions, they can go directly to him. But they saying right there that they are trying to provide resources to get him released as soon as possible. This is coming from the Elma Geronimo Pratt Gun Club.
And you know what? When you gave me the acronym, I went on Google, and there it is, right there, the website and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, they updated it, didn't they?
Sure did.
Hey DJ, on the left hand, I just put the article with actually the actual article that we had about the actual farmer. When you get a chance, click through on the news so to read that article and just confirm the actual spelling of that name, because that on the very far left hand, that article's up there where it says "Get Out! Black Colorado Ranchers Face Domestic Terrorism." Go ahead and click through and read that. Just find his name there just so we can confirm the actual correct spelling of that. I don't know, DJ, you in here?
Newstoter.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. See, this is why I can't understand, because I'm looking at Marcel's. See, Marcel, he got it spelled Courtney Mallory, which is with the E. He got it with the Mallery.
That's what I'm saying. I'm seeing so many different spellings of it. I just wonder because in the actual article,
E-R-Y. It's E-R-Y. I was wrong.
E-R-Y. Okay.
Mallery.
I spelled it the way Hawk Newsom spelled it. Because if you look at my post, I Snapchat the picture that he had, so he spelled it that way, Malloy. So what's the proper spelling?
It's Courtney, which is Courtney.
Okay.
Mallery.
Okay, got you.
Okay, so y'all, it looks like they've been doing a lot of back and forth on this, y'all. Somebody said they called and said, I just called and warned them that there is documented proof of videos of the harassment. I also reminded him that videos are shared worldwide and he better not be mistreated. I directed them to the proof. They said they're working on it and to call back in 20 minutes. Keep sharing.
Well, that's good news. You definitely got to keep the pressure on these people because they already showed you that they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna push the law as much as they can in their favor as well. So hopefully, I'm hoping that he does have a bunch of documented things. You got to have something on tape, man, because I know they were messing up his surveillance and stuff like that at one time. So hopefully, he has some images and some actual video of these people on his property jacking things up. So let's just pray and hope that, and like Wilson say, make sure that his wife has some protection up there because I mean they've already showed that they cowardly. We know in the previous space that we had when we had him and his wife in there that even Marcel made the point of saying that one time that somebody actually came into the house while his wife was actually in the shower as well too. So they're not going to stop at this point in time. They want that property and they want to go ahead and get those people up out of there as much as they can. So let's just go ahead and hopefully the gun club, they can go up there and they can, they can protect them as much as possible, man.
May I just say that these white people are cave cretins. These are people who have a lineage and DNA of eating their dead from back in the ancient times when we were, honoring our dead and building these things called pyramids and encasing them in gold and sweet oils. These motherfuckers were eating their dead. These people have no regards for no life. Even their own mama, they will sell down the river for $1. So you cannot let up. Let me tell you something about white people. This is going to be the heat that they get. They may retract a minute, but they're going to wait. They wait like a leopard in the bushes. They will wait a year from now and then be an all-out attack. They've got to stay having armed security around that property. They can't let up not one moment. Do you understand me? And they better get some artillery up in that motherfucker and be ready for prime time. If they've got to bury some shit in the dirt, they come across that motherfucker and blow their asses apart. They've got to be ready for prime time because these are the kind of people you're dealing with. They are cave cretins. I rest.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping my hope for the family too is you have 1,000 acres. Go ahead and start a black homestead up there as much as possible. Go ahead and get some black families moving in up there. Go ahead and get your security team on board. Go ahead and make that land work for you and for your people as well. To be what so many white people are. Be the landlord. Go ahead, collect your rent. Make sure everything is on up and up, and go ahead and just do it like in the old times that we did in the 1800s and early 1900s. Start your own homestead up there. Have your own black families up there. Let them go ahead and get them a parcel of land, and they put them on a rent to own. Go ahead and still somehow be the landlord. Still have it where they almost like you have a HOA where they still don't matter. Even if they own it, they still have to pay you X amount of dollars a year to live there. So go ahead and do that, man. Don't, because it sounds like you out there in the boondocks and you around a bunch of peckernecks up there. So definitely go ahead and do what you can. Create a homestead. That's what I'm hoping that this brother can do. Create a homestead. Hopefully that him and the actual people that move out there, they can go ahead and start doing group economics. Have your own self-sufficient economy. That way y'all have each other's back as well too. And you can go ahead and put a lot of this stuff that, nobody, they ain't gonna be crazy enough to run up on 100 armed black people. You had a homestead like that. I don't give a damn where they at. They're not just gonna run up on them like that too. So that's what I'm hoping. Let me go ahead and kick it to you, Mel. How you doing tonight, Mel?
Hey, what's up, Newstoter? What's up to everybody in this space? Let me take a bite out of Baby Sister's rap. Peace, love, and reparations like 30 seconds ago. Okay? I really wanted to kind of speak about that watermelon issue. And I'm so glad you said what you said, Newstoter, because I think that's where that watermelon issue got missed, is that there are some kids that are coming home tonight, tomorrow, and all month, and they're being teased because you have adults who have control over all of the propaganda that's put out and disseminated. Those adults that purchased the food and did the budget for the lunches and etc., they knew exactly what they were doing. And the thing about having so many people, being a diverse group of individuals, some people are going to naturally be able to accommodate Mallory because they're down for camping and being in the woods or whatever, ranching and all that kind of stuff. That fit, they're naturally drawn to that. And so those are the people that are going to be helpful to him. And then there are some people that, their forte or their area of expertise is this, or their area of expertise is that. So, it's good that we have all of this diversity among us because we can focus on these things. It is ridiculous that our kids, our children, our Black American children, and I got I got 3 grandbabies and 2 kids, and the thing is, it's a damn shame that our kids have to be embarrassed, have to feel like, oh well, I can't eat this watermelon. Italians don't have no problem eating pasta in public. Why do we have to feel be subjected to stereotypes because we like watermelon? I love me some watermelon. Throw a little salt on there, salt and pop it. But one thing that we did cover in Claude Anderson's book today was how they created laws that criminalized Black Americans, the freed slaves, in getting in business or operating businesses that were in direct competition with white folks. And that tells me, based on what Welsing was just saying, that, Black American families raised their kids. They sustained households just based on watermelon. So it's not surprising that that has become a stereotype. And we see these, what do they call it, the minstrel pictures of, with the big lips and the buck eyes and the super dark skin and whatnot about watermelon. So if it hits you to address that issue about the keeping these stereotypes going, get on it. If it doesn't, cool, because everyone's entitled to their opinion and position. And I'm gonna land right there because I don't want to be, I just don't want to be long-winded, but I'll land right there.
Okay, Mel, thank you. Appreciate having you speak tonight. And I was in your space for a little bit today. It was pretty good. I definitely enjoyed those book readings with Dr. Claude Anderson. Lot of knowledge and information that man shares with everybody. So we need to go ahead and start actually picking up on that game and start putting it to use as well, everybody. Let me go ahead real quick and kick it to
Stoner, can I just say something to Mel real quickly on what she said? Something very quickly.
Go ahead.
Very quickly. I just wanted to say that the company that discriminated against these people, this is the second time that they've done it. By the way, I'm not sure if you know that. The first time was with ribs on. They did something very stereotypical before. This watermelon thing is a second incident. And the problem with us as people is that we need to teach people we need to respect ourselves first and then teach people how to respect us. We need to demand, we should have been, that school board, they should have demanded the parents to remove Aramac as a company from having any lunches. Because let me tell you something. Somebody here in this room just said it. Don't you have white people feeding your children? If they're doing this, can you imagine what they might be doing in that food? Number one. Number two, if they wanted to stay on code with that school district, then they should donate $50,000 to an HBCU and learn their lesson, because white people don't give a fuck about you. And they don't. What they give a fuck about is money. When you hit them in their goddamn pocket, that's the only thing. That's when they start.
Elephant your pocket. That's right.
That's when they start respecting you. And that's it. So we should have been demanding, and we have no power to demand either they be removed or they're going to stay $50,000 to an HBCU, and then they can stay. But this is the second time they've done it, and they know exactly what the fuck they're doing. And I don't want to take up anybody else's time. I just want to say that.
Well, thank you. You know, Toda, if you don't mind, because I just recall, and what Tata was addressing about this commandeering of Black History Month. So for me, I'm like, okay, if that's how the camp y'all want to do this, then let's go ahead and let's start planning a ballroom, the exact type of event, and let's get that ready to rock and roll for Cinco de Mayo. Let them continue to play in our face. If y'all want to come through and commandeer our shit, then we about to pull up and commandeer yours. So we're just going to promote Black History Month, Black History, and that's what we're going to call it. This is a Black History dance all up in Cinco de Mayo on that ass. So, you know, we have to stop being quiet about things, and I guess we have to consider, is this worth a riot? Because at some point, the shit is going to pop and pop off. We also learned that in chapter 5 of Claude Anderson's book today as well. You know, it's one insult after another, and a sister and a brother. And at some point, you know, we got to get up on that ass and quit playing. So, yeah, you want to commandeer Black History Month? Great. We'll see you on African Month. We'll see you on this and that month.
Hey, Stevie Wonder created salsa. That's the new shit. Michael Jackson has been in merengue. Michael Jackson has been in merengue. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how we gotta come. Not Sid Jones invented reggaeton.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we coming at. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do it to us. Okay, y'all want to play that game? But here's the argument. We can actually trace the musical history back to our people that it helped your people create your music. So where's your receipts at?
Exactly. And that might be the only way that we're going to get them to understand and find value, because Cinco de Mayo, everybody and their mama's on it. We look at St. Patrick's Day. That's coming up next month. All you're going to see is a bunch of red faces, staggering around drunk all through this COVID.
A bunch of drunk Irishmen walking around.
Come on. And then what are they going to serve? They're going to serve Lucky Charms at the school for that? So y'all want to play? Let's play. I mean, I'm tired of it. It's just getting on my nerves. And it's the little nickel and dime stuff. And then on top of that, it really, to be honest with you, it's another case of trauma for these children, that when they go to school, and like I think you said it, or Brother Uncle said it, told them that sometimes that lunch at school is really the only full meal they're going to get. And so you mean to tell me our kids got to miss a meal because somebody might tease them about watermelon? Plus you got CRT that's outlawed, and so they don't even get to walk in their glory? Stop all this. Quit playing. I land.
You had a teacher who had her man put his sperm in some food and fed it to her students not too long ago. So I don't trust them.
Yeah.
Oh no, you got to stab him and chop his wee off. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, gun butt him.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, go ahead and put him on down for the count right there, doing some nonsense like that. Original, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay. Yeah, Newstoter, I want to say, yeah, I'm in agreement with him, but the only issue I have is that, see,
real quick, original. DJ, hold it down for 1 second too. Go ahead, original.
okay. Yeah, the only issue I have is that, see, these little subtle attacks, like with the watermelon and stuff, see, what most people don't understand, see, watermelon is cleansing. It hydrates you. It keeps you healthy. And that's another aspect of it. But see, they do these little low-level attacks when, in fact, their objective is to attack us the way they are attacking the brother out there in Colorado. So we have to keep that in mind as well. And Newstoter, when you talked about the ancient Egyptians, see, here's the issue that a lot of people forget. See, people focus on Kemet, or what they call Egypt, okay? But see, in this book, the Africans who wrote the Bible, it says the subtitle is Ancient Secrets Africa and Christianity Never Told. Now, this symbol that is called the Ankh, which is true. It's a symbol for life. You know, they represent the male and female, and then one side represent the ancestors, and the other side the children to come. Now, that symbol. Now, see, when Newstoter said this, they told him about, you know, we coming up out of West Africa, so we don't have any claim on Kemet. That's a lie, because see, what happened is a lot of these symbols, they are older than Kemet. Now, this symbol, the Ankh, the white Egyptologists, they called it the Ankh. But see, the name came from the Akan people, which are in Ghana, and it's called, I guess it's Nkwa, Nkwa. So that symbol came up out of West Africa and traveled up to Kemet, whereby, you know, and you had like the what they call the hieroglyphs. They did not start in Kemet. They started, I think, down in Kush. Excuse me? They started down in Kush. And so what happened is, see, they will try to pull that trick on you as far as trying to tell you that you don't have any claim because you're from over here. But a lot of those writings and teachings, they came from other parts of Africa, and they went up to Kemet. So this is the mind tricks, the Jedi mind game that they like to play on us. See, we the true Black Americans, we are the key to all of this. And see, they just keep coming out here trying to distract us, thinking that we don't know anything. And when we put the truth out there, because I had a person, this was a gay white guy in the office I worked in years ago. He gonna tell me one day, because he saw I would have stuff up on my computer. He tells me that the ancient Egyptians, they were not black, they were mixed race. And then when I said to him, I said, listen, according to Herodotus said they had black skin and woolly hair. Now, if Herodotus was there and he saw these people and you were not there, or wherever you got this information from, who the hell are you to say that these people were of mixed race? I said, you're not stealing our culture. This is ours, not yours. Now, like I tell these white folks, I don't know where the hell you come from. I'm not buying that lie that a lot of people have told, where they said that white people are black people who got trapped up in the ice in Europe and they mutated. I do not believe within my essence that we could mutate and devolve down to something that evil and horrible. I just don't believe that. So I've had conversation with other people. We kind of bump heads. I said, look, I'm not buying that garbage. I need more facts other than, see, that's what a lot of these white people have put out there about this, that their black people got caught in the ice. I'm just not buying that. I don't believe it. You can't make me believe it. And you have nothing that's powerful, more powerful than me to make me believe it. So I'm going to land with that, but I just want to share that, because see, a lot of people get it twisted when it comes to Kemet and where all of this stuff came from. They don't want to tell. They want you to only focus on Kemet, but no, you got to go to other parts of the continent as well, and you will see where there are things that were built. There are structures that were built that are older than the pyramids. So don't fall for that lie, and just let me know if there is a GoFundMe or something where we can donate to the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Gun Club, or to the people in Denver, Colorado, so we can make sure that the people who are volunteering to go out there, that they have resources whereby, you know, if they need to pay their bills or whatever, you know, we need to be able to provide funding for that, so that no one is left suffering, you know. But yeah, just when someone else raised that again, just tell them the Ankh come from the Akan people, and they're in Ghana. And I'll land with that.
All right. Thank you, Original. I just got back, y'all. Definitely, if you can, please go ahead and try to support. Like I said, we did do that space with the Mallory's before, and I think that we were probably able to get a pretty decent amount of contributions that night. I know I donated, and quite a few other people did. And even after the actual space, a couple days later, we had people asking me about, if it was any way to donate. So I think and that's having a big platform. I wish the platform was bigger so we could actually impact things more than what we actually do. So that's why it's so important to try to grow, y'all. That's why we're trying to grow the platform. That's why I say, please go ahead. If you're on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the actual newsletter as well too. Follow us on other social medias. Follow Newstoter on Facebook, because Facebook is definitely small number. Follow on Instagram. We're trying to go ahead and we're trying to grow and we're trying to get larger so we can have an impact or whatever. I can imagine if on Twitter, if I had 50, 60, 70, 80,000 followers, amount of content that we could put out there that would actually, go viral and stuff like that too. So we're just trying to push forward as much as possible. And also too, it's also important. This is Black History Month as well too. It's important to try to support Black owned businesses as well too. So if you can contribute on Cash App, and I tell people that even if it's just $1, you may just only have $1. If you have $1 that you can spare, think about, donating or contributing to a Newstoter. It's $Newstoter. Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, largest Black American-owned news curation media platform today in America. So if you can, support us on Cash App. If it's just $1, Newstoter. If you don't have a Cash App, then we have the Venmo and PayPal up there also in the actual Jumbotron as well too. So Wilson, I see you had your hand up. Go ahead, unmute your mic.
I just want to ask everybody in the room if they know about this one Nigerian gorilla motherfucker. I had said something to him and responded to him, and I got suspended. I got suspended for like a week and a half not too long ago. But there's this Nigerian Sambo who will he be bucking his eyes, dancing and carrying on. He just did one not too long ago with a watermelon, had his mouth wide open with his big old teeth. I said to myself, I could just visualize, I'd like to take my fucking shoe and shove my foot in his mouth and knock all them goddamn teeth. He is so offensive. He is so offensive. Does anybody know who I'm talking about?
I talk about the big muscular, the big swole, muscular Nigerian dude.
If I could find someone to beat the shit out of that nigga, I cannot stand that bitch ass nigga. I cannot stand him, and I every time he just makes my blood boil, and so it took a lot of strength.
Are you talking about the big? You talking about the big muscular swole ass dude?
Yes, that big old McGillis.
That be punk dancing and shit around the white folks.
Yeah.
Goddamn offensive. I want to beat the fucking shit out of him. I cannot stand him. Because he placates these white people and all the stereotypes, and I know he's getting paid for it, that bitch ass nigga. And this is where our BLM failed us, because if we had a real BLM like the Jews have ADL, we would shut his motherfucking black Nigerian ass down, and he would never come back up again. You see what I'm saying? Because that shit is offensive. It's offensive.
Yeah, I always see your boy. He be like, it's like people like I guess he's always at a restaurant or something. He's sitting down. Next thing you know, he starts cutting the fool and whatnot. Yeah, I've seen this fool before.
Yeah, it's offensive.
But it's two of them though, because there's always another one that be with them too. It's two Nigerians, and with the big buck one. The big buck one name is Sambo. His name is Sambo. So I want everybody to remember.
I wear a size 12. I swear to God, I'd fucking shove my foot down his fucking mouth. I hate that bastard. Excuse my language.
He's definitely, I say this much, he's definitely a character, and not in a good way either. He definitely and it's always white women. He's always dancing in front of as well till he gets up and just starts bucking. Yeah.
Eyes bucking and shit. I swear to God, I cannot stand that man. And so the other day I called him. What did I call him? I said, you black gorilla McGilla, motherfucker. And they look like a week and a half.
Oh, no, you dropped out for a second, sis. What you saying?
No, I said I called him like a black McGilla gorilla motherfucker. And I didn't think I was going to get caught, but, you know, they caught me, so they suspended me for like 8 days.
Take one for the team, twin. We got you. We got the bell money.
I did.
Better start memorizing our phone numbers to make that call, that one call.
Brick City.
All day.
Yeah, you got to be careful on here because they got me a few months ago for about 5-6 days too. So you got to be careful what you say on here because they will clip you in the heartbeat up here. So, no taxation. Who said something? You DJ? You said something? Or was it Professor?
No, that was me, Newstoter. No, I was just gonna say, man, that's exactly what they do to you. They get you within a few hours or a few seconds, and you might have to be locked down for 7 days or 10 days.
Oh yeah, they'll get you.
It was worth it. Fuck it.
No taxation. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No taxation. You got it.
Hey, Newstoter and everybody in the room. How's everybody doing? I got concerned because Iman said she hates him. I don't want you to hate her. Because I don't want you to put that in your heart. But I will tell you this, I had to go through the same thing myself about that man. First of all, I said, if I see him in any of the restaurants that I'm in, I plan to go to management. My name is Black Karen, okay? And all that dancing and stuff he's doing around the white girls, you wait till them white boys get a hold of him. We won't have to do nothing. And that's on God. Now, I'm telling you, if y'all think that them white boys is not watching him, you are mistaken. Because he was out there with 2 people. Now I think he got 3 with him or something. I don't know. He looked like he's trying to get a group, and they all Nigerians. But I'm going to tell you this. Them white boys going to gun for him because if you think they're going to let some big black man dance around there with a white woman and eat food and stuff, you know, in a sexual manner, they ain't finna have that. White boys is not finna have that. I'm telling you, y'all don't worry about that boy because the white boy's gonna take care of him. He just ain't ran up in the right spot yet. They'll catch him. He's not our problem. I want to talk about the watermelon. I put up a picture of a sign at a grocery store that I go to. I frequent that grocery store. And when I first started going there, I was so shocked because they had a little white boy holding up a piece of watermelon. I ain't never seen. It's usually the little black boys holding up watermelon, but they got the white one holding it up. The reason they don't want us, and they still talking about watermelon, because watermelon is one of the most nutritious fruits that you can eat. And if you have trouble drinking water, eat watermelon. And white folks know it. That's why they don't want us to have it. That's why they still after us about it. But I'm going to tell you something. White people will beat you to the fried chicken and watermelon if you're not careful. It's almost a fight to get over there to the chicken and the watermelon behind these white folks. White folks love it.
They be lined up at the Costco. They be lined up, yo. You right, sis. You know what I'm saying?
They do. And
lunch hour.
Yeah, they'll talk about you and go get it for themselves. You know, white people think they real slick. They not slick to me, but you know, they try to play these little mind games and stuff. You can't pay no attention to that. Now, I do have a problem with that food place that fixes the food and sends out to the school because they've been having problems. And what you're not going to do is try to be slick and think you're doing something. I'd be willing to bet money that it's not a white food service. I bet you it's a white Hispanic food service. See, I'd like to find that out because I don't. White folks have moved past that because they're poor now. But Hispanics, they're the flavor du jour. And so they pulling all kind of stunts and tricks out here. So those are the people that we got to be concerned about. White supremacy has done its job on black folks because we don't fight them hard enough. And so, you know, we're killing each other now. So they kind of don't wipe their hand. They really don't come for us like that. It's the white Hispanics coming for us because they're trying to move up the ladder. And I mean socially and economically in every way. They're trying to move up the ladder. So they're the flavor du jour now. But white folks, they'll let them know what's happening because that's the way white supremacy works. They'll let you move on up until you get too close. When you get close, they'll they'll kick you back down. So they'll kick it back down soon enough. Y'all will see it. I won't see it probably because I ain't gonna pay no attention to it. I might have 15 good years left. I ain't got time to be watching the fight expand. But the other thing I wanted to say is about that man out there. They said he got arrested for stalking. He was on his own property. And I don't know what's going on down there, but I will say this. And Yvonne said it. She, calling over there to this representative who's Etrian or whatever they call it. That's that Tiffany Haddish stuff. That's not going to do you any good. I'll tell you who you need to call. Call the governor's office. That's who you need to call. If you want to get some real action done, forget them people on Capitol Hill because they ain't about shit. Okay? You gotta hit them at the homestead. And the governor needs to know about it. If the governor doesn't already know about it. So if somebody, I can't do it because I just don't have the time and wherewithal right now. But if somebody, Yvonne, and I don't mean just you, but if anybody or Empress, if she's in the room, Empress, Goddess Empress, if you can get a hold of the governor's information, call them there. That's where you need to call. Forget about that representative. Forget about the state reps. You need to call the governor's office. See, because he got 1,000 acres. And if you think the governor's office is not looking at that land, you're mistaken. And I would be a bit surprised if it wasn't the governor's office saying, go take that nigger's land. That's all I got to say. I'm going to let it go. Thanks, Mr.
No problem. No taxation. Thank you. Baby sister, Judge Sarah, and Mel. And those will probably be our last speakers for the night. Go ahead, baby sister. Unmute your mic.
Well, Mel already took it from me, but piece of reparation should have happened like 0.2 seconds ago. I was trying to get behind Mel because then people would have thought it was her talking. Little inside joke. But anyway, yeah, whatever. Is the goofy that y'all talking about?
You there, baby sister?
Unmute your mic, baby sister.
They fucking with me. Y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Let me peep this shit real quick. Okay, they done kicked me out about 4 times. They kept sending me, you have to try again. I was all, fuck it, okay, whatever. And then I'm just sitting here just listening. I just removed my mic request, right? It kicked me out through up. You can, the host is having difficulty. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I'm talking shit with Mel in the DM, right? And so she was like, go try it again. So I tried again. I digress. Let me stay back and focus with my anger. Okay, so when the sister was said, and girl, let's both whip his ass. I wear a size 7. You wear a size 12, it's on and popping. The thing I was kind of not really getting is, and stay back with me, y'all, because we family. When you were saying, yes, that, watermelon was one of our main products to export. You're fucking right. But here's the deal. We're talking about kids who aren't even taught shit that's up to date. They're not getting information to know where that basis is coming from. So see, these slick motherfuckers, these slick little retards who are not to teach our kids, they don't have a basis to say, you know what, I'll eat some watermelon and I'll eat some chicken. My mama could cook some chicken. I could cook some fucking chicken. But they don't have that reserve. So they're made to be made fun of. So yes, we should be proud, but we're in our 30s and 40s, this shit, and we have to remind each other. So can you imagine somebody that was born in 1999, 2000? They don't have anything to go by. So that's where I'm upset about. So I'm just saying we really shouldn't chastise and go too far back to say, we should be proud. Yes, we should be proud, but they're not even teaching our kids this shit for them to be proud. And like Mel was saying, this is their only meal. And good googly God, what are they feeding our kids? If they're doing this to them, then what are they putting in our children? I think it was something else. Damn. Anyway, y'all gotta love me. I'm your baby sister. Fuck it. I'm done.
Uncle Luke. What about Uncle Luke?
Oh yeah, okay, Uncle Luke. Oh, I ain't never seen that lump at my family reunion. And for him to take that's a really prestigious type of honor. You know, that's my uncle. That's my uncle. Y'all remember my Uncle Charles, y'all?
Yeah, I was about to say my bad too. Original Cool Luke. My bad. I forgot. You know. Okay,
So,
I'm getting ready to say something now.
well, original and WPI, the rest of y'all know we're gonna talk some shit on WPI shit. Follow up the space coming up. But anyway, all I'm saying is we have got to let our kids know. And there's a song, and I put it in my tweet. Is I know I can be what I want to be. We need to thump that shit every single day to our kids. We need to play that every single day. That is a jam. I like it. I can remember the words. So, but that's how we're going to infiltrate these minds. But they did that on purpose. It's not even, and one of the girls said it's not even a season. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that was our main export. We were kicking ass and taking names. But just like I told Mel, just like a watermelon seed, I'm slippery than a motherfucker, okay? Couldn't keep me off this space. But I let my plane. And this wasn't the only Mel Cruz. This was a baby sister.
All right, baby sister, appreciate that.
Those two right there, we sounded like sometime in these spaces, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, they do.
Judge Sarah, and then Mel, and then we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the night. Go ahead, Judge Sarah.
Thank you, Newstoter. I want to go back really quickly to the Courtney Mallory. Okay, so because in the last space, Newstoter, you talked about the sheriff, and I think his name is Emery Gerhardt. And so I hope I can get this out completely without being interrupted. Okay, so the issue with C.W. Mallory is that he's being harassed by state officials because he's black. Okay, so what we need to do is make the issue that he is being targeted because he's a black man. See, what happens is, and I'm going to do this, I'm looking at this, there's a couple things I want to say really quick. I don't want to take too much time because I know you want to go on Newstoter. I Googled the sheriff, I think his name is Emery Gerhardt. About 6 years ago, Emery Gerhardt sued the sheriff of that county for, I think, some kind of work environment, a harsh work environment, or what is it called, like a toxic work environment. I'm not saying it properly, but what I want to say to you is that the law enforcement in that county has a history of corruption, and so I'm trying to explain to you guys, and I'm so sorry, I'm stuck because I want to get this out. The sheriff who's harassing Mallory sued the sheriff previously, saying that he was in a hostile work environment. He sued him and he lost. Okay? And what I'm saying, if you just Google it, that law enforcement agency has a history of corruption. Okay? These are the things that are important that you document. I try to say this and I get cut off. The reparations thing, you keep on focusing on delineating, saying African American or descendants of slaves. You keep making that the issue. The issue is we need repair because we are not equal. That they continue to harm us because we are descendants of slaves. When I talk about this, I get cut off and we're not hearing. This is the law. This is legal. What you have to understand is the law in the legal system. And you have to operate within it, not outside of it. This man is being harassed by a sheriff's department that has a history of corruption. And that's what should be documented. Why did he not have bail? I sat on the phone for 15 minutes on the phone to call and find out why is he in jail without bail. These are the things you talk about. Why is he being arrested for harassment, for stalking, for not having bail? You look at everything that's being done and you document it and you compare it in other instances in the same county. What needs to be made aware is he is being harassed. Apparently, other news agencies are reporting it. It's a person named Angel Saunders, who's written about it multiple times on different platforms. So it is getting some traction. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the people who are harassing him, Ray Gayhart, he sued the previous sheriff 4 years ago for harassment. Okay, so what I'm saying, if you investigate it, they have an issue with corruption. What you have to do is discredit these companies, these departments. When they're doing something wrong and bad, you investigate it and you show that they are harming him. Okay, so I'm just trying to tell y'all, these are the things that we need to do. Okay, and I'm gonna say this really quickly because clearly I'm a different animal. If my kids went to school and had chicken and watermelon and stuff, it wouldn't have phased them. They would have came home and said, "Mom, I had chicken, waffles, and watermelon," and they would have enjoyed it. They wouldn't have felt embarrassed about eating chicken. My kids are not raised that way. They wouldn't have been embarrassed. My kids got great self-esteem. They'll be very happy to eat watermelon and chicken in front of anybody. Okay, because that's how I taught them. So I'm just saying, my family would have got offended by it, and I damn sure wouldn't have wasted time. More importantly, is this man who's in jail behind some bullshit. So I'm gonna land there.
All right, Judge. Thank you. Mel, you got it.
Yeah, I think I actually had forgotten. I was going to say something in response to something that Baby Sister had said, and at this point, it has escaped me. So I'm just going to land my plane right now.
All righty. Well, I guess we'll get ready to close the space out. DJ, you want to go ahead and get a final word in, and I'll go ahead and close it out for the night.
Well, usually it's agree to agree, but I got to disagree with some things I heard tonight. So, Judge, we'll start with you since you started it off. Fear is different from, what's the word you used? Terrorized or whatever it was. You know what I mean? These people, they're not scared of us because we're not terrorizing them like they terrorize us. And the other reason why I say it's different, because in reality, they really fear us. I really know this because I'm a black man that walk around every day and be in these white people's spaces. A lot of the times, they just give you that look. But I don't even look at them, even though I know you're looking at me, though. And that shit eat them up, yo. They eat them up, yo. Bad, yo. And I would just walk away. Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Somehow, you know what I mean? So, give you a story, not to be long-winded. I was in Target a few years ago, right? Went and bought some blanks, you know what I'm saying? Some material. I needed it right away for an order. I mean, I love to fucking get a deal on shit. So I'm in a little clearance aisle, rocking through the racks. Motherfucking big-ass white cop came and stood over behind me. But I never even acknowledged the motherfucker. That shit, he just kept looking at me like, and he like doing things to get my attention, but it's like you're not even there. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know what the fuck you don't. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, all I gotta do is really just ignore your fucking ass. You know what I mean? And let it be for what it is. Now, as far as the watermelon situation, actually it is a problem. For the simple fact, that's white folks' little way of making fun of us. Not even so much making fun of us, but like trying to joke with us to be friendly. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's prejudice to us, because it's not prejudice if Sylvia's restaurant at home serving chicken and waffles with the watermelon, we pulling up for the buffet. You know what I'm saying? Because that's our people. You feel what I'm saying? But when they do this shit, it's to make fun of us on some minstrel show shit. So that right there can't ever flop. You know what I mean? And as long as we got some people that's willing to go make a fuss about it, well, yeah, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Get them up out of the paint. If it's the second time they did do this shit, guess what? We're going to need a new contractor up in here, a new distributor, and everybody start writing letters and start fucking complaining. Same thing with, Luke, bitch ass. Your ass ain't nobody uncle, my bad. Original, you the original uncle. You know what I'm saying? From now on now. So say Uncle Original, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Luke, we been bombed Luke in the early days of ADOS when he was keeping and cooning for Kamala Harris. Oh, don't tell me who to vote for and I can't vote for. But yo, bro, she's locking up our people for no reason at all and keeping them incarcerated in California when they're way past their release date and them bailed out and got OR'd. That means they're free. So why are you using our people to go fight fucking California fires for $2 a day? That shit ain't worth nobody time. I like. Don't you hire fire department for that shit? See what I'm saying? So when he told us to shut the F up, we don't know what we talking about. All right, well, your ass is on knockoff. So now, like you always say, Tyler, he's just looking for some relevancy to try to come back and do whatever it is he feel like he want to do because, he ain't relevant no more. And shout out to Dr. Dre, your Mad Luke, Dre Day Part 2, our Black American real music producer artist, got that motherfucking International Inaugural Award. So every time somebody get the Dr. Dre Grammy Inaugural Award for Producer of the Year, that's always gonna be known that Black Americans created hip hop, not the Tetherooms. You know what I'm saying? Not the Bohemians, not Caricom. Yeah, and why did Caricom always exclude Haiti and the Black American from the global reparations of the diaspora of the enslavement? Even though Haiti is included now because they're part of the Caribbean, but you didn't always include them either. But you still have yet to fucking include us. When you gonna fucking include us in Caricom? This is why it's motherfucking Black American reparations of us. Reparations2023.com, 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 and there was something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, on a Mallory, he didn't come in our space. He didn't really say much, so it wasn't really that much information to go off, in my opinion. Folks want to go out there and bless the brother with some bare arms and shit, knock yourself out. But in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I don't tell people what to do with their business. You need to get the fuck up out of it, because ain't nobody going, who's willing to pack their show of hands. And I said this in several spaces. Nobody raised their fucking hand. Who's willing to go out there with some arms and pack your life up wherever you're at and go out there and live. Right. So with that being said, he needs to lease that land or rent it out. Build an Amazon hub on that motherfucker. Now you can't do shit. You know what I'm saying? Now you're getting a royalty check from Amazon every fucking year. You know what I mean? Living your life. You know what I mean? Come bring that farm material back down to the south. Okay, now I know. Back to the watermelon. There you go. So here's what nobody said in this whole space when we brought up the whole situation around the watermelon. It's not even so much about the story. I kind of agree with Judge a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we do make a fuss of shit, but fuck that. That's our shit. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to make a fuss about everything when we feel like we're being wrong. Even if it's just some simple shit. Don't the Karens do it all the time? That ain't that we would see on YouTube videos? Karens making a fuss and shit. Us crying about fucking nothing. Telling the police, yo, this dude harassing me, he black and all this. You need to start doing the same shit. So, again, to the Maoris, whoever could send help is in the Jumbotron, Cash App, all that other stuff. And yeah, you right, sister. If Hawk got 7,000, give me and my niggas 7,000. I'll go tell the niggas on the corner, hey, yo, I got $7 grand. We need some weapons right now. And some niggas to pull up over there. Let's go for a couple of days. We ain't got shit to do. Lead the dope to the youngest to sell. You know what I'm saying? Niggas will go across state line for 7 racks. You feel what I'm saying? And knock a nigga head off for you, too. You ain't even got to worry. I'm going to knock his head clear off for 7 racks. You know what I'm saying? Niggas broke out here, yo. So how Hawk got 7 grand, asking for 10, but ain't knocked nobody head off yet. I'll knock a nigga head off for free. You know what I'm saying? If I was close to Merrill, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't out there. You know what I mean? So get that 7 grand to some niggas that's over in Chicago, them old block motherfuckers or whoever out there. Yo, go take a trip over to Colorado. Some niggas in Ohio that's really about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I got 7 grand for you, nephew. Go over there right now with the better of that. And if anybody want to split it up, give it to them. You know what I'm saying? That's simple shit. So don't donate to nobody that ain't show no anything. And I don't know the old brother Hawk like that, but if I had 7 racks, the nigga tell me they got 7 grand and knock a nigga head off for him, it's over. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got to say nothing. Point them out. That's how we roll in the street. And as far as, just to close what you said, Original, as far as like our media and shit, this is why I keep telling us we need to pull our resources together to get a printer, yo. I'm telling you, yo, if we get our hands on an industrial printer, and it don't gotta be brand new, and I don't care where the hell we house it at, as long as something, wherever it's at, you're fucking willing to do the work. So therefore, meaning that's on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the one that's already doing print and media and all this other shit. So when I speak about the printing side of this shit, a lot of us get this confusion like, oh, well, why can't you just put it on Facebook? Because they're fucking ostracizing us. If we're talking reparations, black shit, and every fucking thing else, tether gang, you know what I'm saying? That shit ain't passing through no algorithm. This is why it's so hard. And then again, Grandma ain't coming up here to talk to you about no reparations. She not clicking no fucking Twitter. She gonna tell you get out of her face. I got being positive, me. You know what I'm saying? talk to me later, grandson. But if you gave her a DVD, a print article, she gonna read that shit. For real, this going on? Do. Hey, yeah, get the sisters at the church, yo. We gonna have to pull up on these motherfuckers and shit. You know what I'm saying? We pulling up on Jim Crow Joe for all these reparations, and we gonna pull up for the mountains. Who out there in Colorado we know? That shit spread like wildfire. Word of mouth is the ultimate fucking promo game. Tell them, motherfucker. Well, you need a way to mass tell people. Because our people, yeah, we may be on Facebook and all that, but again, there's only a 1% of us that's looking at this same information we're talking about. Everybody else is bopping off at the ratchet shit. World Star, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop shit, you know, whatever the fuck we do for entertainment fun. Jokes and shit. That's what we looking at up here. We ain't looking at no goddamn positive, nothing reparations. Because niggas gotta go to work tomorrow. It's really that simple, but I yield.
All righty. On that note, y'all, we're going to get ready to close the space out. We will be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you guys make sure those notifications, y'all go ahead and click on those reminders so you can know that the space is starting. We should have a pretty good space tomorrow night. I got a couple topics I want to touch up on real quick. So you guys definitely thank you for coming out tonight, supporting the space. Of course, we know how Luke is, and I would imagine in another month, if not a couple weeks, Luke will have another space that he's going to be trying to draw people in there to another so-called controversial space. But you pretty much know where Luke stands politically at. He's right with the Democrats. And, you know, if you want to be a Democrat, there's no problem with that. But, hey, don't get offended if black people say they're tired of voting for him and they would like some tangibles. It seems like whenever black people start talking about tangibles from the Democratic Party, then they look at you as some kind of ingrate. Black History Month. Thank you to all of the people that came before us that, you know, gave us a chance to survive in this country. Unfortunately, sometimes some of the images I'm seeing with Black History Month aren't too kind to black people. So definitely just keep your eyes glued on the content that's coming out, and respect to everybody that's doing their thing in Black History Month as well too. And C.W. Mallory, unfortunately, like I said, I was hoping when we had that actual conversation with the brother, and like DJ said, he didn't speak much, so I actually read the entire article, and he didn't really speak a whole lot, but the actual article pinpointed exactly what was going on. So, I just wanted to just let everybody know, man, try to support the brother as much as you can. He's going through a lot. His wife is going through a lot. They have kids as well, too. So I don't really know what it's like to be in that situation when you got people trying to uproot you from your home because they want to steal your property. But this isn't anything new in America. It's been going on from the time black folks came out of slavery, and they had a little something, and people felt like they had more than them, and that wasn't fair. So just go ahead and support this brother. Let's keep our eyes and ears glued to what's going on as well too. This thing could be long and drawn out, and I definitely expect law enforcement and the judicial system up there to stick up for each other and try to cover each other's back up there in Colorado. We know that they're not going to sit up here and throw the actual sheriff's office under the bus. So they're going to try to find every little thing they can to go ahead and make it seem like he's been the aggressor, he's been the problem, he's been this or that or whatever, despite all the instances and stuff that he's been pointing out. So let's just try to keep this brother in our prayers. Wish the best for him and his family. If there's something we can do in terms of calling, in terms of just curating information online as well too, let's go ahead and do that. For those of you that, if you can donate, if you haven't donated before, please think about donating to him as well too. So let's just go ahead and try to help C.W. Mallory and his family out as much as possible. I don't know what's going to go on with that. I know DJ was saying that maybe that moving or something might be an option. I'm hoping that he go ahead and turn it into a black homestead myself, and become a landlord, and also help secure home ownership for other black families as well too, and possibly even get the farming system going up there as well too. So on that end, we're going to get ready to.
I just want to say, I know my bad not to cut you off, is just to clarify on that again, bro. So the best thing we could do right now, right? Check this out. Here's how we could help the black farmer in Colorado. Go holler at other black farmers and tell them what's going on, because they don't know what's going on. So when I'm a landscape agriculture, horticulture by trade. I got a degree in this shit, bro. So when I go watch these other YouTubers that do black farming, I don't see them talking about this shit, bro. Why are we the only ones that's talking about it if they doing the same thing? See what I'm saying? So therefore, meaning the information is being suppressed. This is why we need a printer, yo. Damn, yo.
Yeah, real talk. But I'm gonna go ahead and close this space out for tonight. So thank you guys once again. Thank you to the co-hosts, speakers, listeners. Thank you to everybody that went ahead and tweeted out the space as well, guys. Go make sure when you're in the space, if even if you're here, tweet it out to your followers. They may want to actually hear the dialogue that's going on in the conversation as well too. So when you get a chance, please go ahead and tweet out the spaces. That definitely helps get the actual messages around as much as possible too. So on that note, y'all, we're going to go ahead and end this space for the night. Definitely we'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate it. And you guys take care.
Peace, peace.